Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this started. So this is the workout from 317. Now, with that being said, I want to start the video by saying that I'm an idiot. And so, one thing to note is that I came in from an injury. I took roughly 4 days off from an injury that was pretty okay, pretty decent. I mean, nothing where I needed medical attention, but definitely something where I tweaked my back. I should have probably went to get something scanned, and which is a totally topic of a different nature. So one thing about me is that I know that mentally lifting the weight ends up being the biggest hurdle for me. For the most part, programming I feel is pretty set, and I have really no issues with progression in a sense. It's just more the idea of the weight that hinders me. And so coming into this, I knew that because of the injury that I sustained the last deadlifting session, roughly about a week or so ago, I knew that it was going to be a mental fuck, if you will, for me to get this weight up. And so instead of going back and doing the exact same weight, by the way, you just saw one plate, two plate, this is three plates. One thing, I knew that I was going to have to go in and either go balls out and go higher, as I would have done if I wouldn't have gone to Snap City, and just zoom through it. So here it is. This is 380 pounds. This is what my next progression would have been. If you remember, last time it was 375 that I got that small tweak. The weight wasn't an issue, it was just the way I set up. So what I did this time is I set up my feet, I set up my hands. As you can tell on this, I'm kind of going slow here just to show you guys a little bit. But what I ended up doing is not going as far, and I have a little bit of a inner concave rounding there, which I need to work on. I need to just go as deep as I need to for the lift. But for the most part, look at that. Yanked that 4 times without an issue. I mean, 380. So the way I'm looking at it is that progression will continue. I felt good after this workout, just a little bit of foam rolling because, my lower back tends to get a little tight after, 3 working sets. But it felt great. I mean, really no issues whatsoever. I did have one funky little ending clip, which I'll show you guys. But my biggest concern right now is making sure that I fully fill the belt. So that means I expand as much as I need to in the core, set up properly where I'm not going deeper than I need to, and I don't exaggerate the back caving a little bit. So that's kind of my goals for deadlifting now. So what I'm doing now is really focusing on the sumo because I always begin the year by setting 2014 goals, and because of that, I set my sumo deadlift one rep max pretty high, and so I need to really progress on that. Once again, holds. Anyways, I need to really progress heavily on that. Finally adjusted the camera so you could see something. I didn't notice it was limp. So, in the end, I need to really hit sumos hard, and I'm gonna start using the standard or conventional, if you will, for an accessory movement, and not really using the standard version. I'm gonna be doing a deficit. Conventional or standard deadlift in order to propel me past my most difficult point, which is always a lockout. And one thing I actually did notice from my deadlifting session is that at the very top, I don't always squeeze my quads and squeeze my glutes all the way through. And so a little bit of that is not that the bar rests on my legs per se, it's more that I can hold it up in a sense without really needing to do that. And I need to get back into the idea of just humping through. So check out this rep though. So here I was doing the hold, and I was going to do one more rep, and I thought about it too long, but I was like, let me lean back a little bit to get more of a contraction. And almost went to Snap City again. That crazy, huh? The problem is that the Vibrams don't really have any cup in the back. It's just straight rounded heel. And so if you go too far back, there really is no support. I mean, the idea is that you're supporting your own weight. Here you're seeing the deficits. I did those for 2 sets. I was going for about 8 reps. I realized that this is 225, and I realized it's probably a little too light, but I was just kind of testing it. So I'm still testing this new programming, making sure that's going to be enough. A little bit of me almost wants to start coming in the afternoons because it's just not enough time to do everything I want to do. But as it is, I know I'm doing too much volume, so whatevs. And this is what happens when your gym doesn't have a proper squat machine or a proper squat rack. You got to do shit like this. Anyways, and then I followed it up with 2 sets of front squats. Tried 135 today, even though that looks really small. And we'll see. I need it. My biggest issue is really setting up that perch with my shoulders, but I need to figure out a way to do it. So if you guys like the workout, hit that like video, hit that like button. It helps the channel grow. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.